Back downstairs to you for the main event here in Las Vegas in just a bit. Our next fight, of course, is the main event, De La Hoya versus Mayweather. Oscar De La Hoya, the most popular boxer in the sport, against Floyd Mayweather, who's considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in boxing. De La Hoya's bigger, Mayweather's quicker. The build-up is finally ending. The waiting is over because De La Hoya and Mayweather are up next. Yesterday's weigh-in here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena turned into an event all unto itself. Fans, believe it or not, were lined up from 6:30 in the morning to get into the free event. Some 2,000 were turned away. Eventually, about 6,000 saw Floyd Mayweather weigh in at 150. And when Oscar De La Hoya stepped up to the scale looking fighting trim, he weighed in at 154 pounds. Both fighters seriously in great shape, getting set for the main event that will be coming up in just a bit. But first, here's a look at our next boxing event brought to you by HBO Pay-Per-View.
World champion Miguel Cotto, boxing's emerging superstar. He's blasted through every obstacle in his path. But is Cotto ready to throw it down against the division's baddest man? Sab Judah, two-time world champion. Boxing's bad boy. He's a terror in the ring who will do whatever it takes to win. When they collide, it's gonna be explosive. Cotto Judah for the World Welterweight Championship. Saturday, June 9th from Madison Square Garden, live on pay-per-view. Explosive. They're ready to detonate.
And there is more boxing coming your way in June and July. June 23rd, it's Ricky Hatton against Jose Luis Castillo. Hatton, one of the best at 140 pounds, and Castillo's the former lightweight champ. Both are rugged, tough fighters. July 7th, heavyweight title holder Vladimir Klitschko faces Layman Brewster. It's a rematch for Klitschko against the man who knocked him out 3 years ago. July 14th, a big night on HBO. In Atlantic City, comebacking Arturo Gatti faces Alfonso Gomez. Then in Los Angeles, longtime welterweight title holder Antonio Margarito faces undefeated Paul Williams. July 21st, HBO pay-per-view, Bernard Hopkins and Winky Wright face off in a fight between two master craftsmen of the sweet science. Should be an interesting one, to say the least. For all this and more, log on to HBO.com. And the main event between Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather will be coming your way in just about 15 minutes from now. Floyd Mayweather says he's been pointing his entire career towards a shot at Oscar De La Hoya, and it's not hard to believe. De La Hoya has been in the public eye since he won Olympic gold in 1992. Since then, De La Hoya has fought the top fighters in his weight classes, not backing down from any challenge, from lightweight all the way to middleweight. Tonight is no exception. De La Hoya, at 34 years of age, is facing the top pound-for-pound fighter in the sport in 30-year-old Floyd Mayweather. Now, the promotion has been ongoing for months, but now it's time to fight.
They've talked, they've trained, and they've postured. Now, no more press conferences. No more early morning runs. No entourages. No rappers. Now it's down to Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather. In a ring, fighting 3 minutes at a time. De La Hoya, the Golden Boy, the most popular fighter of his generation, who, time after time, has stared down the wrath of boxing's best.
Look at De La Hoya! He wants to fight! De La Hoya's right there! It's Leonard Hearns all over!
Seemingly at his best when antagonized by his opponent, De La Hoya has let his fists do the talking.
If he can make Fernando Vargas eat his words, if he can knock him out, and he does! The Golden Boy is golden once again.
Tonight, he'll need to do the same against his greatest challenge, Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather.
Brilliant stuff from Pretty Boy Floyd.
Machine-like in his dismantling of opponents, His speed and skill have no equal.
The super quickness of Floyd Mayweather produces a knockdown. Too much speed, maybe too much power too.
Undefeated in the ring and unfiltered out of it.
Ice that motherfucker!
The perennial pound-for-pound champion and the Golden Boy have developed a healthy dislike for one another leading up to fight night.
He's a quitter. And mentally, he's already beat. I'm gonna do the physical part, brutally.
You don't want to make me your enemy. And talking that trash.
You a pussy, and I'm the top drawer.
He's done it.
Tonight, in the sport's biggest event in years, boxing's brightest attractions collide.
He know he gonna get beat. It's just how he gonna get beat. Fucking massacre.
I've been in this position before. Will he rise to the occasion or will he be crushed because the lights are too bright?
Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather. Next.
Finally, time for our main event, Oscar De La Hoya versus Floyd Mayweather, two of the top fighters of their generation. They'll be entering the ring about 15 minutes from now. De La Hoya versus Mayweather is being brought to you by MGM Grand, the city of entertainment in Las Vegas, Cazadores, the one with the deer on it, and by HBO Pay-Per-View, the best in pay-per-view entertainment, brought to you by HBO. The MGM Grand Garden has seen so many big boxing events. This beehive of activity has been fired up for the likes of Foreman Mora, De La Hoya Mosley II, Hamed Barrera, and the first Tyson Holyfield fight. Tonight, it's a record sellout crowd, all paying top dollar to see the best in the sport once again. Oscar De La Hoya has won titles in 6 different weight classes. He's fought 20 current or past world champions, and he's one of the biggest moneymakers in all of sports. The question is, does he still feel the pressure at times like these? The answer is the look on Oscar's face, focused and ready for the task at hand. Don't forget the outstanding fighters that Floyd Mayweather has turned to rubble. Ask Diego Corrales, Jose Luis Castillo, Zab Judah, and Arturo Gatti what they think. Floyd's fought his best in his biggest fights, so expect the best once again tonight from Floyd Mayweather. And the celebrities are here. Matthew McConaughey, failure to launch. John Madden, the Hall of Fame football coach, is here in attendance, a big football fan. Al Michaels, recent winner of the Sports Emmy. Tom Jones, indefatigable. Jack Nicholson, the one and only Jack Nicholson. Jim Carrey, the actor. Actor John Cusack. Wesley Snipes, who earlier in his career played in a boxing movie. Will Ferrell, Mr. Comedy himself. Hall of Famer Magic Johnson, basketball, but he loves boxing. Ron Howard, Hollywood producer, director. Senator John McCain, a big-time advocate for boxing safety, and of course, a presidential candidate. Mary J. Blige, one of my daughter's favorite singers, Usher, and Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire. There is Sean Puffy Combs as well. All the stars are out for this big-time bout here tonight. And good evening once again, everyone, here at the host position. James Brown, thank you so much for joining us. Thrilled to be working alongside of the man who, when he retired, was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Mr. Lennox Lewis, and of course, boxing expert analyst of HBO, Max Kellerman. And Max, we all know that in boxing, an awful lot of yeast can be sprinkled in the hype and all, and fairly or unfairly, this bout has been characterized as that which could save boxing. Is that the case?
No, this fight's not going to save boxing and it's not going to destroy it. But considering that the eyes of the sports world are focused on boxing for the first time in a long time, it can help or hurt. The nightmare scenario for boxing people is a dull fight and a bad decision, possible given both guys' excellent boxing technique and general styles. The dream scenario, of course, is a great and dramatic fight. Maybe Mayweather will be inspired to a great performance by the spotlight. Maybe Oscar will, by the fact that it's a chance to beat an A fighter in that fighter's prime, something De La Hoya has never done. It would be nice for the fight itself to actually live up to the event.
And Jim Lampley will certainly amplify on the boxing styles, the differences, by the way. Well, speaking of the Super Bowl of boxing, Lennox Lewis certainly participated in one. Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, walk-off, knockout, by the way. Credit Dave Harmon on that one. Look here, you followed the build-up of this fight. You've seen the fighters. You looked in their eyes yesterday in the fighters' meeting. You also saw the body language. What do you expect to unfold tonight?
Well, I think it's going to be an unbelievable fight because the both combatants have come to fight. They're very confident. They're looking good. And I don't really see anything. I just see them both wanting to get into the ring to prove themselves. You've got experience from both guys. Like I said, Oscar's got good power. He doesn't have to lose too much weight. His weight is good. You got Floyd Mayweather, very quick indeed. I believe that Oscar's going to have to really show his colors in the first few rounds, definitely putting them in the bank for later on when he needs them, when he really needs them, and it's going to count on the judges and the scorecards. So it's going to be interesting, and I think it's going to break down to the scoring.
All right, so the punch count will have to be high for Oscar early on.
Yes.
All right, we'll get into a bit more of that as we head downstairs. By the way, Hall of Famer, trainer and manager Emmanuel Stewart, Larry Merchant, and our Hall of Fame announcer, Jim Lampley, ringside.
All right, thank you very much, James Brown. Well, you heard Max Kellerman refer to the dwindling number of times when the eyes of the world in general are focused on boxing and the nightmare scenario of a dull tactical fight with a controversial decision. It happened twice 8 years ago. Oscar De La Hoya against Felix Trinidad and Lennox Lewis against Evander Holyfield the first time in Madison Square Garden. What you hope for is drama that will resonate and be talked about for years to come. Like Ray Leonard against Marvin Hagler 20 years ago. Or perhaps even more representatively, Leonard against Thomas Hearns, September 16, 1981. Let's all pray tonight that we get one of those. Larry Merchant, ever since the fight was made, you and I together in Southern California facing droves of people who walk up in shopping centers or airports or whatever and ask the simple question, who is going to win? What have you been telling them?
If I were a betting man, Mayweather. But if I lost my money, I wouldn't be unhappy. By all that is holy in boxing, and there isn't much that is holy in boxing, Floyd Mayweather is supposed to win. He's a virtuoso in his prime. Only complacency truly can endanger him. But, there's always a but, what if, say, Floyd Mayweather were a blinged out, souped up Porsche, built for speed? And what if Oscar De La Hoya was an Aston Martin with power under the hood? And it turned out they had a collision.
A collision is what everybody most hopes for. But of course, the chance of that goes to the style contrast to which James Brown referred upstairs. And here's our first comment on it from Emmanuel Stewart. Manny, everybody in boxing has an expert opinion on what Oscar De La Hoya should do to try to neutralize Floyd Mayweather's acknowledged speed advantage. And those options range from box and counter behind the jab all the way to relentlessly pressure and pursue like the bull going after the matador. Which do you prefer?
Jim, as I keep thinking about all of the scenarios, it really is coming down to two things. I think both strategies are good strategies, and I hope that he is going to be able to make changes if one doesn't work. But the most important thing, I think, for Oscar is whatever he does, he must do it with speed. I think everyone is knowing that Floyd has speed. If Oscar is slow with either style, he's going to get chopped up tonight. If he does things with speed and intensity and has stamina in the late rounds, like he hasn't had in a lot of big fights. Floyd's got to have a rough night ahead of him. But whether Oscar has enough speed to do what he has to do is going to be the problem. Not so much Mayweather's speed, it's Oscar's speed.
A night for superstar celebrities both inside and outside the ring, and therefore a night for flags and anthems for the pageantry. Let's go to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like everyone to please rise for two national anthems. First, to honor the heritage and family of the defending champion, here to sing the Mexican national anthem, three-time Grammy winner, Pepe Aguilar.
Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero apresta y el bridón, y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Ciño patria tus sienes de oliva, de la paz el arcángel divino, que en el cielo tu eterno destino por el dedo de Dios escribió. Mas si osare un extraño enemigo profanar con su planta tu suelo, pienso, patria querida, que el cielo un soldado en cada hijo te dio, un soldado en cada hijo te dio. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero apresta y el bridón, y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we honor America with the national anthem, sung with dedication to all the men and women now serving in harm's way with the armed forces of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, four-time Grammy Award winner, Mr. Mark Anthony.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, who were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Tale of the tape between two of the most supremely conditioned prize fighters ever to enter the ring by all appearances. De La Hoya giving up 4 years in age, but Oscar fighting for only the third time in the last 32 months against a fighter who has been active all along. A height advantage of 2.5 inches for Oscar De La Hoya. An arm length advantage, however, of 2 inches measured from the armpit to the end of the fist for the shorter fighter, Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather choosing to come up only 3 pounds in weight from his welterweight appearances to 150. Oscar De La Hoya, who has fought in this neighborhood for many years now, right on the button at 154. No unofficial weights available on either of these two fighters tonight. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Oscar De La Hoya Floyd Mayweather fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. In case the cut is caused by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards if the 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell at any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim.
Given the overall stakes of the bout, De La Hoya's title belt in the 154-pound weight class is almost an incidental afterthought.
When you see them side by side or face to face, the difference isn't that great. But De La Hoya has been a welterweight or junior middleweight and has even fought at middleweight for 10 years. And Mayweather has just fought one legitimate, strong welterweight in his last fight.
And I think about a year ago, Floyd was fighting about 135 pounds, which is about 20 pounds lighter than the division that he's fighting in now.
And you're observing the last 20 or 30 seconds here of some gamesmanship as Floyd Mayweather takes his time long after the cue for him to be available to walk to the ring. He finally chooses to leave his dressing room, and instantly the crowd inside the arena sees on big screens that he has donned a Mexican sombrero and will apparently walk to the ring accompanied by Mexican music. This duplicates something that was done throughout his career by his uncle Roger, brother of that man, Floyd Mayweather Sr., who now watches inside the arena and laughs at the notion that his son is going to enter with a Mexican sombrero adorned in Mexican colors to face the Mexican-American fighter. And once again, throughout his career as a professional, Roger Mayweather, trainer of Floyd, called himself the Mexican assassin, and Emmanuel would enter this way as a psychological ploy.
Is he trying to win over the crowd or just taunting the crowd?
I think it's more he's taunting the crowd because he's not going to win over this crowd right here. This is strictly a strong crowd for Oscar, and even if the crowd was predominantly, I guess, no Mexicans even here, it would still be a strong Oscar crowd, I think.
Well, when Uncle Roger used to do it, it was certainly to taunt the crowd and inflame passions, and it was a way of being the black hat, a role which Floyd has cultivated for himself and has indeed visibly enjoyed en route to this fight. And hey, it worked really well for Roger Mayweather through much of his career until he ran into Julio Cesar Chavez, and of course the guy who ultimately derailed Chavez's preeminence as a Mexican icon was Oscar De La Hoya. And incidentally, according to those who understand how to wear sombreros, I'm being told that the hat is on backwards, and maybe that's intentional too.
Why should we be surprised?
And the music from 50 Cent.
He's an immodest man with much to be immodest about, but give him credit. Way back when he was fighting in the 130s, he started building up a fight with De La Hoya. We all thought it was just so much talk and looking for headlines, but he dreamed it, he fantasized it, and he made it happen.
And as you can see, the entry rap from 50 Cent is live, so that's an expensive performance right there, donated no doubt on behalf of Floyd. And now 50 takes a moment to step between the ropes before picking up the rap again.
50 used to be a Golden Glove boxer himself. In New York, yeah, he used to box. He's been in the ring too.
Now the music stops, and 50 Cent says a friendly hello to Oscar De La Hoya's very good friend and business partner, Shane Mosley. And here comes the more straightforward entrance for the man himself.
Why is Oscar De La Hoya a box office superstar while Floyd Mayweather is a boxing star? Because Oscar won a gold, Floyd won a bronze. Because Oscar was a handsome man and Floyd was a nice-looking man. Because Oscar has a crowd-pleasing style and Floyd does not. And of course, because he had such support from the boxing fans of his community, Mexicans and Mexican Americans.
And throw in there also, Larry, that he's fought everybody from welterweight, junior lightweight, really all the way up to middleweight. Even some fights where he shouldn't have fought, but he still stood up as a fighter and fought everybody. And that's made him tremendously popular with a lot of boxing people, too.
An atmosphere as much like that of a cloistered political rally as for a sports event. The crowd here may be 90% in favor of one man.
You know, there's 16,000 or so people here. There are more than 25,000 people in other arenas around Las Vegas watching this on theater TV. Couple thousand saloons and other sites around the country, to say nothing of we don't know how many home sites with this fight.
In another era in the sport, this fight would have taken place in an outdoor stadium with a crowd of 90,000 people. It is a mark of boxing's current economic scene that it must take place in a casino hotel's arena.
They didn't generate over $100 million when they had 100,000 fans.
Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, Nevada, Golden Boy Promotions is proud to present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World. Sponsored by Cazadores Tequila, Tecate Rockstar Energy Drink, Party Like a Rockstar, and Southwest Airlines. Brought to you in association with HBO Pay-Per-View. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission Chairman Dr. Tony Alamo, Executive Director Keith Kaiser, President for the WBC Jose Suleiman, WBC Supervisor from Thailand General Kovid. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this bout on the 10-point system will be Chuck Jampa, Tommy Kazmarek, and Jerry Roth. And inside the ring, your referee in charge of the action, Kenny Bayless. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the world awaits. And this is the moment the world has been waiting for. Let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white, official weight, 150 pounds. A perfect professional record consisting of 37 fights, 37 victories, including 24 knockouts. From Grand Rapids, Michigan, the former junior lightweight, former lightweight, former super lightweight, and former welterweight world champion, the reigning pound-for-pound champion of the world, Pretty Boy, Floyd Mayweather. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red, official weight, 154 pounds. since capturing Olympic gold. His professional record now stands at 38 victories, including 30 knockouts with 4 defeats. From East LA, the former junior lightweight, former lightweight, former super lightweight, former two-time welterweight, and former WBO middleweight world champion, the reigning, defending, two-time super welterweight champion of the world, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Mike. Okay, now, gentlemen. Trunks are okay here. Trunks are okay here. Now, guys, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want you to keep the fight clean at all times. I want you to protect yourself at all times. And what I say, you must obey. Touch them up. Good luck.
Mayweather lusts after De La Hoya's stardom. De La Hoya lusts after Mayweather's status. Will we get spontaneous combustion?
Mayweather's uncle and trainer Roger was in no hurry to leave the ring, apparently wanting to make a last-minute point to officials and to referee Kenny Bayless that he thinks De La Hoya's cup protector is too high above his waistband. Round one begins, and the first major question of the fight: how well and how often can Oscar De La Hoya find Floyd Mayweather and make contact with him? Mayweather with a right hand across the top, first significant landed blow of the fight. Mayweather often leads with left hooks or straight right hands, does not lead with the jab nearly as often as you would expect a pure boxer to do. Right hand across the top for De La Hoya excites the crowd, and immediately De La Hoya begins hammering away with left hooks to the body. Mayweather blocked all of those with his arm, but Oscar came back upstairs with a left hook.
I don't think Oscar landed the right hand. I think the way that Floyd been down from it has created excitement with the crowd. I don't think anybody's had much contact so far.
No, maybe the most significant thing so far was the spirited effort that De La Hoya made to get at Mayweather's ribcage. Oscar has never been a particularly prolific body puncher. He acknowledges that he needs to do more body punching tonight. The one time Floyd Mayweather was in danger of losing a fight in his first fight against Jose Luis Castillo. Castillo barely ever looked upstairs and focused on the ribcage all night long.
Well, Oscar's trying to maneuver Floyd to the ropes. You can see that's his strategy. He's not doing too much because he can't deal with Floyd's speed in the center of the ring. He's tried to counter it, but he can't. So he's trying to get Floyd to the center, to the ropes before he can be effective.
Right. Mayweather in the middle of the ring is quicker, beating him to the punch. Oscar trying to figure out how to crowd him.
And this is typical Mayweather right here. One punch and then out of the way. He landed a left hook lead, moved away. He landed a right cross lead, moved away. There it is again, sticks a jab, moves away. De La Hoya has to try to find ways to engage with Mayweather and make him trade punches rather than to land in short bursts and then go away out of punching range.
I don't think that Oscar planned for this. Oscar planned to just walk in and be physical and just to force Floyd to the rope, but he didn't expect it so difficult to get in to do that. And right there, Floyd angled his body to the fact that he neutralized those left hook attempts by Oscar.
But he isn't throwing a jab either.
No, Oscar's not jabbing at all. I've always said Oscar's key was his jab, and he's not using his jab at all. Just trying to walk in and shoot power punches.
The names Atiana and Jacob on the back of De La Hoya's trunks. His two children who are not mothered by Millie Carrecho, his present wife. Obviously, so much attention was paid to his son Gabriel in the build-up to this fight that Oscar wanted to honor his other two children by putting their names on the back of the trunks.
So far, Floyd is winning this round by landing the only two clean punches of the round. And the fight is moving just the way that Floyd would like it to stay.
There's Millie Carrecho, pop singer from Puerto Rico and mother of Oscar De La Hoya's son, Gabriel, and his wife of the past several years. Well known to the public now after 24/7.
Use that jab off the feint a little bit, okay, son?
Right in the middle, right there.
He ain't seen no motherfucker like you.
Thinking man's game, baby.
Thinking man's game. You can tell him. Keep doing what you're doing right now. Keep doing what you're doing.
Freddie Roach said that it would take a couple of rounds for De La Hoya to adjust to the speed and that he wouldn't look good until a few rounds had gone by.
Well, CombiBox numbers in round one were by no means definitive. De La Hoya 3 out of 26.
Yeah,
Mayweather 7 out of 35. And that's a Mayweather-type round, both in terms of the speed and pace and the number of punches landed.
The first jab that Oscar really threw snapped his head back.
Good left hook inside by De La Hoya. And for a moment there, they exchanged punches. That's what Oscar De La Hoya needs. Now he lands a jab again across the top.
Now, if Oscar's continue to do that and mount his attacks off of the jab, particular jab in that Mayweather's left eye, which will neutralize Mayweather counterpunching, he'll do very well.
Good right hand across the top from De La Hoya. Mayweather now feels a need to answer back. Leads with the left hook, steps away again. So Oscar's kind of gotten his feet wet here in the first minute of the second round, landing both a left hook inside and a right hand across the top against Floyd Mayweather. There's another straight right hand landing for De La Hoya, and a jab and a right hand again, and the crowd goes nuts as De La Hoya begins to take over offensively, fighting the bigger man fight.
I think Oscar's fighting perfectly as long as he operates behind the jab before he goes in, but those right hands wasn't that effective. Mayweather rolled those right hands. It looked good to the crowd, but they didn't land effectively.
They landed enough to make the point that he's landing punches while Floyd isn't throwing.
He's winning this round, I'll tell you that much. If he continues doing what he's doing, he'll win this round.
The chant is Oscar, Oscar, Oscar. You can expect a lot of that as long as he's still in the fight. Straight right hand by Mayweather. De La Hoya flurries before Floyd moves away. Now Mayweather goes to his own jab.
You have to watch Floyd to start jabbing, and then all of a sudden he'll change the jab into a leaping left hook.
De La Hoya with 3 bodied shots in a row. Clearly a bigger focus on the body tonight than in previous fights. As soon as Mayweather threw his right hand, Oscar tried to land a left hook upstairs. Mayweather slips away from the jab. Oscar reaching, having trouble finding Mayweather. There'll be a lot of that.
And Oscar's doing a very good job of neutralizing Mayweather's left hook too, which is Mayweather's pet punch.
That and the straight right hand lead, of which we haven't seen many so far.
Nope, hardly no right
Here
hands at
Oscar
all.
tried to lead with a right hand over the top. Trying to get a left hook between Mayweather's guard. That was a more active round for De La Hoya.
Good round for Oscar.
Walking him. Keep walking him, tapping with the jab. That's all you gotta do. You ain't gotta get crazy. Down the stretch, you're gonna get his ass. Okay? Don't worry. Get ready. Down the stretch. Let the biscuit tie a little bit. All he doing is walking in anyway. He ain't doing shit. He just walking in.
Okay.
Keep the jab working. Keep the feint working. And stay off the rope when you have to. Don't get on the rope when you have to. Every now and then get on it, but don't stay off the rope so long.
Okay.
Other than that, you make it easy.
He's anticipating.
Yeah.
Some more feint. Okay? All right.
Jab to the body. Keep walking with it.
All right.
Floyd Mayweather Sr. at ringside, trainer of Oscar De La Hoya for the past 7 years. Briefly, he was in his own son's camp prior to this fight before leaving again. Sitting tonight in a seat he acknowledges to us, which was provided to him by De La Hoya. Although sitting in the seat provided by Oscar, he was non-committal as to who he was rooting for in the fight, saying that he had extremely mixed feelings that it was even taking place. You saw the CombiBox numbers, which slightly favored De La Hoya in the second round. Wailing away with the left hook, trying to get at Mayweather's body. Mayweather blocking the shots with his right arm. Now the left hook lands upstairs. And he lands the right cross across the top. And for the first time in the fight, Mayweather looks genuinely on the defensive.
Oscar's fighting a perfect fight right now. He's being aggressive, not trying to think too much, because if he thinks, he's not going to beat for thinking. It is very effective.
Sledgehammer punching across the top. Mayweather this time backs Oscar off with a body shot. Now pops him with the jab. Mayweather seemingly able to land his jab when he wants to throw it.
These are two boxing savants trying to find the right formula to fight each other.
Oscar's got to be more effective and stop thinking too much, because when he thinks too much, he's playing right into Mayweather's hand. When he lets the punches go, he does very well.
Yep, you saw what happens when Oscar waits and gives Mayweather time. Mayweather landed the left hook lead, stepped to the side, then landed a straight right hand lead. It would appear that what De La Hoya needs to do is to attack and flurry and apply the relentless pressure that so many people in his camp talked about offering.
He shot a good flurry there, but I don't know if he got winded or whatever, but he's falling right back into playing the traps. Whether you land a clean punch on Floyd is not that important. Hit him on the shoulders, elbows, anywhere, just hoping that the weight size and the strength will wear him down as the fight goes on.
Mayweather able to duck back straight away from punches because he's so quick on his feet. Good quick left hook there by Floyd Mayweather.
That's his key punch, and Oscar seems to have been blocking it all night long. He's been very ineffective with that punch so far.
Straight right hand lead for Mayweather. Tremendously effective with that punch. And instantly he moves away to the side. Left hook lead, moves away to the side. This is vintage Mayweather. This is why De La Hoya needs to find a way to plant him against the ropes, make him stationary, and force exchanges. He was able to do it at the first part of this round. For the last minute and a half, Floyd has been back into his game.
Yep, Oscar's got to be a little bit more aggressive, continue to keep moving in, throwing punches, whether he has a clear target or not, and when he finishes up with the punches, move forward anyway.
This round is on the table for somebody to flurry and steal it in the last 20 seconds. It's been relatively even up to now. Let's see who will try to apply the activity down the stretch. And there's your answer.
Mayweather said he wanted to go toe-to-toe. What he really wants is to go hand-to-hand.
Good solid left hook. Landed for Mayweather to punctuate the round. But what do you like better? His defensive skill down the stretch, or the fact that Oscar was pursuing him?
I like Oscar at the beginning of the round. It shows what he can do, and he does have the strategy to win the fight.
Cut the ring off good that round, okay? Now you're gonna use that jab a little bit more for me, okay? And double that jab up. All right? All he's using is defending the hook, okay? You block that, you want to come back with your shot, okay, son? Okay. All right? That's all he's doing. Deep breath.
How do you feel? Through the first 3 rounds, Floyd Mayweather lands the cleaner, more precise shots. Oscar De La Hoya flurries and pressures and tries to force activity. He makes the aggression in the fight, which will impress the judges more. And incidentally, these first 3 rounds, not unlike the first 3 rounds of Mayweather-Judah, when Zab Judah was able to threaten Floyd and make him uncomfortable from time to time, but eventually Mayweather settled into a groove and won the fight. Harold, how'd you score the first 3?
Okay, Jim, 2 rounds to 1, 29-28, Floyd Mayweather Jr. In rounds 1 and 3, Jim, I just thought he outpunched him with that left jab and the left hook. Round 2 against Oscar De La Hoya, good aggressiveness, he got off, threw some real good shots, but 1 and 3 to Floyd Mayweather, 29-28, 2-1 to Floyd.
And again, here at the beginning of round 4, we see Mayweather landing the cleaner shots. Oscar De La Hoya, throughout his career, has had a tendency sometimes to tire toward the end of 12-round fights.
It's always been a concern that I've had with him. In this case here, also, he's fighting flat-footed, and he's not that effective. When Oscar gets on his toes, he punches better, and he has still one of the best left jabs in boxing. He just isn't using it in this fight. In recent years, he hasn't used it that much.
He worked in training camp on being more relaxed and less intense, but in the ring tonight, it's the same intensity we've always seen.
Yeah, the way he's fighting, I have a feeling he's going to tire going down the stretch. I just see that in his body movement.
No question, Mayweather is the more relaxed of the two competitors.
But the pace of this fight shouldn't tire him. He's not getting punched much unless Mayweather steps up the pace. There's no reason he should get tired late in the fight.
Oscar seems to be very tense. You know, with a guy with all of the fights he has, he seems to be more tense.
Well, he's always fought like he had a balled fist, and that has helped to tire him.
There are the body shots, and there is a sustained attack to the body like nothing you've seen in De La Hoya's career. So an adjustment finally shows up, something he will have to do differently, and he seems concertedly aware of it in that moment. And because he throws the body shots, he pins Mayweather against the ropes and gets a chance to try a couple of shots upstairs. They go back to the center of the ring, and it's back to being Floyd's fight. Oscar De La Hoya threw about 12 body shots in a row.
Yeah, but I didn't see it. I mean, I don't think they was effective. They wasn't effective. I see it. Floyd is placing precision punches right there.
I don't see those punches landing.
No, they're not, but they're getting closer. He's getting closer and closer. I see as the fight goes on, Oscar's going to be getting hit with a lot of clean shots like that, I believe.
Hook right after the bell for De La Hoya.
Listen. Forget about that. Keep the motherfucker in the middle of the ring. Down the stretch, you're going to get in his ass. Don't worry about that. You just do what you're doing. Keep popping that ass, that Jack. Keep popping that.
Working good.
Down the stretch.
A little more shoulder movement, okay? Don't be so still in front of him, okay? Be a little moving target for me, okay?
Here you can see Oscar throwing his volley of punches, particularly a series of left hooks. To me, I don't personally think any of those punches was that effective to me. I know he's landing me a lot of effort, and I think he's exerting himself, and Floyd is relaxing all the time while he's doing that.
I don't think they can do Mayweather any good.
No,
well,
but
the point is that he's trying it.
He's trying.
The point is that he's attempting to throw body punches in much greater volume than ever before.
What you hear from Roger Mayweather, the trainer in the corner, is they are really counting on De La Hoya tiring in the last third of the fight. Twice now we've heard Roger Mayweather said he's going to get tired, he's going to get tired, you'll get him later in the fight.
Good quick left hook inside by Mayweather and a big right hand upstairs by Floyd. Biggest shot of the night for Mayweather. Power punches through 4. De La Hoya 29 out of 108. Mayweather precise and accurate. 33 out of 58.
Keep it clean now. Here we go.
And I think the point is quite well taken. De La Hoya fighting this way does appear to be tiring
That's
from
what
round to round.
I feel the same way. I see the tension in him. I just see his body rhythm as if he's beginning to tire and throwing a lot of punches, but I don't think he's been effective.
It's one thing to say you're going to be more relaxed, but there's so much pressure in trying to find Floyd Mayweather within the time frame of 12 rounds. And again, De La Hoya tries to set something up with the body and then go upstairs.
You know, what Oscar's doing is the best thing he can do. I think it's good, but the only thing I've been concerned about him not getting tired. What he's doing is proper, but it seems like he's getting tired.
Emmanuel, maybe he will get tired, but right now the fight is happening, and it's a very close fight. We don't really know yet who's going to get tired at the end.
One thing I would say is that Oscar De La Hoya should throw his jab more, but I'm sure he's reluctant to throw the jab because of the quick right-hand counters of Floyd Mayweather. He's so quick and slinky with his right hand. Every time De La Hoya gets Mayweather near the ropes, you can feel the urgency as Oscar tries to suddenly take advantage of the opportunity.
You know, it scores points, it shows his aggression, and if in a close round, if he does this 2 or 3 times around, he'll get the benefit of the doubt.
There's a red abrasion on the outside of De La Hoya's right eye, probably from a Mayweather left hook. Straight right hand across the top from Floyd Mayweather. He uses that punch increasingly down the stretch of those fights in which he's comfortable and confident. De La Hoya briefly landed a right cross across the top.
I like that Mayweather is standing right in with De La Hoya here. This is toe-to-toe.
And now the hand speed difference shows up in the center of the ring.
Right, he feels he can beat Oscar to the punch and is willing to take the risk of getting hit.
And the big hand speed edge for Mayweather puts De La Hoya on the defensive as soon as they're in the middle of the ring. And Mayweather is trying to knock Oscar out with a right hand. Landed that one clean and flush. It would be very satisfying for Mayweather after all the talk about the possibility that De La Hoya, the bigger man, might knock him out if he could score a knockout of Oscar.
Nicely, bro.
Where the towel? Be you. Be you. That's all you have to do is be you.
Here you see Floyd land a right hand on Oscar. This is a right hand right on the side of the head, over top of his extended jab. And I think later on he lands another right hand, which is a different type of right hand. This is a right hand through the center. Oscar is actually making the fight and throwing the punches, but it's not being that effective. If he can continue to do this and don't tire, he has a chance to win in the decision. But I think fatigue is going to set in as the fight goes on.
And gradually, round to round, CompuBox numbers begin to reflect Mayweather's edge. In the last 2 rounds, he has a 34-20 superiority over De La Hoya in power shots landed. The faster hands of Floyd Mayweather are becoming more and more a factor in the fight. This is round 6 of a scheduled 12.
This is high-speed chess between 2 outstanding fighters, but plainly the speedier is Mayweather.
Stop! Here we go.
Which is why De La Hoya is trying so hard to get to the body and apply some of the pressure that might slow Mayweather down a little bit. The other option was to try to stop speed with the jab, as Vernon Forrest did to Shane Mosley. That's not working as well. So once again, De La Hoya goes back to work chopping wood, trying to get at Mayweather's ribcage the way Jose Luis Castillo did back in the 135-pound weight class.
When you're fighting a defensive genius like Mayweather, and you have a great punch like the left hook that Oscar has, and he's looking for it, you could wait all night and all weekend and not land it.
Oscar was fortunate to beat Pernell Whitaker years ago without landing a single significant left hook in the fight. He knew good and well that Floyd Mayweather might be able to take away his money punch upstairs. Good job of defense here by De La Hoya as he ducks and slips in the center of the ring. Suddenly making Mayweather miss. Floyd got a little sloppy with arcing shots over the top. Not normally the way he punches. And again, De La Hoya tries to set something up with the body before changing upstairs. Quick right hand. 2 punches blocked by De La Hoya. Good round for Oscar here.
Good round for Oscar.
His best round since early in the fight. Now there's a quick left hook that lands for Mayweather. De La Hoya short with the right hand, but gets in a left. And once again, Oscar answers fire with fire. So with 35 seconds to go in this round, De La Hoya is mounting a little mini comeback in the middle of the fight. Straight right hand lands for Mayweather, and he skips out of the way. Mayweather going back to that right hand lead, part of his bread and butter. Lands a left hook, and De La Hoya just stands there. Suddenly the round begins to even up. So De La Hoya pressures him against the ropes. Quick left hook lead by Mayweather. Problem for De La Hoya.
But Oscar's had great defense this round himself. He's the guy that's been catching Mayweather's punches round.
And again, they're near the ropes. And again, De La Hoya gets to make the last little statement
That was
of
a
round 6.
good round for Oscar.
A nervous Millie De La Hoya watching at ringside. A nervous Floyd Mayweather Sr. kibitzing with observers nearby. Earlier we heard through a microphone we've attached to Floyd his observation that he thought De La Hoya might tie.
Hey, top. All right.
Okay? Every time you throw that jab, you land that, okay? All right? You land one, land two, okay? Step, step, okay? All right? 7th round.
Beautiful night on the Strip in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're midway through this extremely anticipated bout between Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya. You saw the CompuBox numbers, which show the percentage edge for Mayweather. He's landing more punches and landing a very high percentage of his power shots, 56%. That's because of the fast hands. But De La Hoya keeps on trying. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim, 58, 56, 4 rounds to 2. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Jim, every time they get in one of these face-to-face stand-downs like they are now, Floyd Mayweather throws the first punch. He gets off first, he pops Oscar De La Hoya with a left or a right, and Oscar can't get back to him. This time, Oscar attacked him. When Oscar does that, like he did in round 6, he wins the rounds. But basically, it's been Mayweather getting off first, landing more clean shots.
And just to show you that Oscar heard Freddie Roach, Roach asked for the jab, and suddenly Oscar unfurls a bunch of jabs.
That is the key to Oscar's aggression, is the jab, because that'll make Mayweather bend back, twist his body, and then he's effective after that. But Oscar's fighting a very determined fight. I can see he is determined to win this fight if it's the last thing that he does. Whether he wins or not, he's putting every effort, doing everything properly, and if he can hold up stamina-wise, he's got a good chance of winning and going down the stretch.
Might win the fight. I mean, it's started to say, it might be the last thing he does, whether he wins or loses, at least in a prize fight ring. De La Hoya suddenly dispenses with throwing the jab. He should keep at it. That set up his offense in the first minute of this round. When he's not throwing his jab, he gives Mayweather the chance to measure and wait and figure out when he wants to land his lead left hook or right hand. When he is throwing the jab, Mayweather backs up and doesn't throw.
Oscar has a great jab. And actually, Mayweather doesn't have the jab. The really jab has always been Oscar. Mayweather has fast hands, but not that authoritative jab the way that Oscar has.
Oscar blocking a left-hand shot with his right glove.
Question is, will we get the drama we were hoping for in the second half of this fight?
Mayweather lands 2 right-hand shots over the top. Well, we're into the second half.
All right, and as Mayweather is more willing to stand and trade, maybe we will get some theatrics.
Good body shot by Mayweather. And he comes back to the body and hammers De La Hoya again. Big left hook upstairs by Mayweather. Now De La Hoya feels the need to rally and goes back to throwing the jab.
Stop! Watch your shoulder, watch your shoulder.
You just can't speed Floyd Mayweather up. You can't make him throw 60, 70 punches around. He fights in staccato bursts. He likes it that way. De La Hoya trying to pressure.
Well, if Floyd doesn't punch back, Oscar's going to win this round.
Another round that followed the profile of the fight. De La Hoya was more active. Mayweather was more accurate.
Very good.
We'll go downstairs with it.
Break it on the body, please.
Go downstairs.
Okay, no problem.
Get a little closer with the motherfucker.
Okay.
Emmanuel, I don't think a fighter can depend on the other fighter getting tired at the end. What if he doesn't?
Well, if he doesn't, the way this is going, here's a good
Well,
chance that Oscar's going to win the fight.
Well, then, but he's got to fight like he's going to get 12 hard rounds from his opponent.
I think his opponent has told him that he's going to have to step it up a little bit. This is the last half. Oscar does seem to be a little fatigued, but he's still working. He's still throwing punches, and he's pushing the fight. Floyd is very accurate, as Jim said, but not active enough. And the fight is getting closer and closer, and actually in my mind, I see Oscar pulling ahead.
In round 7, if De La Hoya won the round, he did it for a simple reason. He threw 38 jabs, landed 11. He's got to keep being active with the jab to heighten his chances of winning the fight. Between rounds, Bernard Hopkins stood up from his seat near De La Hoya's corner and screamed, jab. Hopkins, of course, one of De La Hoya's business partners in Golden Boy, along with Shane Mosley, who sparred with him. Another De La Hoya flurry, and the crowd rises again. Once again, Oscar being more active, setting up the assault with the jab, putting Mayweather on the defensive, Mayweather countering back accurately.
That's been his most effective punch tonight. Not his left hook, not his right hand, not a body punch. Oscar De La Hoya's left jab is his best punch when he uses it.
You got to take the chance that you're going to get clocked with a counter right. That's why Oscar sometimes pulls the jab and puts it back in the holster. But when he uses it, he puts Mayweather on the defensive. He's got to keep doing that. Mayweather with a hard right hand over the top. De La Hoya has stopped using the jab, and Floyd is picking his shots again.
No, but De La Hoya is picking them off because they're one shot at a time.
Well, that's the way Floyd fights, one shot at a time.
Well,
combinations are relatively rare.
Well, then that's something that Oscar is exploiting.
But actually, Floyd hasn't found a way to really penetrate Oscar with a solid punch. His main punch is springing left hook that he leaps at. Oscar's blocked that all night long for the most part.
Oh, it's when he counters that he does best.
The best, most authoritative punch between the two of them tonight has been the left jab of Oscar. That's been extremely effective when he throws it. Other than that, everything else has pretty much been deflected.
But he seems to have forgotten it since the beginning of this round. Now there's a jab.
In my view, Emmanuel, since I thought that Mayweather, who is almost a 2-to-1 favorite, was supposed to win this fight, given his youth, given his talent, that Oscar is doing very, very well to stay in the fight with him this long.
And then on top of that, look at it, maybe possibly pulling ahead on the scorecard.
Well, in this round, he's the more energetic fighter. And Mayweather's accuracy has receded a little bit in this round, as De La Hoya has done a pretty good job of picking off punches with his gloves.
And Floyd is having a problem with hitting Oscar with anything really clearly in the finish. Mayweather looking for one more big counter shot. Oscar looking for one definitive rally down the stretch of the round. They both got in a clean punch at the end. Oscar's doing that every round, which is very smart. Close rounds, he can go either way. He flurries at the end of those rounds and is possibly still in those rounds.
I think you got an even fight. 4 rounds apiece.
You know, listen, all you gotta do when you get close to the rope, tie him up, keep up his ass in the ring, just like you just did then. How you feel?
Waiting this guy, we need a little more movement going to him. All right, cut the ring off.
Yep.
All right, don't let him go to his left, okay? Take. All right, take him off.
You say at the end of the round, where Oscar De La Hoya is doing what he's been doing most of the rounds, it's close, coming in, throwing punches. Whether they land clean or not is not that important, but he's roughing him up in addition to that. Elbows, everything. And he's probably winning these rounds by doing that.
No. This is the perception is this is an even fight, close to it. Now the tension builds. Now perhaps the drama will build.
Well, and you wonder if Mayweather recognizes the danger of throwing 35 punches in a round where the opponent throws 68. I mean, Manny, your point is quite well taken. It doesn't much matter whether you're landing if you're throwing twice as much as the other guy.
And then actually Floyd is having a problem of hitting Oscar now, so he's throwing punches, but he has not found a way to penetrate.
I'll tell you what, the body punches have taken their toll. Maybe he didn't land them at a high rate, but Mayweather is defensive when Oscar goes to the body.
I think that Oscar's some kind of way figured out Floyd's rhythm is taking his punches away from him.
Big right hand over the top by Mayweather, but one punch at a time.
And Oscar sees that he's half deflecting those shots. Floyd still cannot find a way to get clean punches together. He blocked that punch.
Good left hook, but partially blocked, as Manny pointed out.
Tell me something, Emmanuel. How does a fighter get to be considered a great fighter if he throws basically one punch at a time? Although this is maybe one of the best flurries he's had all night.
Well, it's not that difficult to be the greatest. I've never considered him great. He's considered a pound for pound, but the Ray Leonards and all of that stuff, comparing him and Ray Robinson, no. He's a good fighter.
Look, he's won all of his fights, and he's won 36 out of the 37 pretty unquestionably. So, you know, obviously, from a competitive standpoint, that's hard to argue with.
Yeah,
but this sport is also about theater.
It's about theater and the caliber guys that he fought to some degree.
Well,
but he's a very talented fighter.
Another De La Hoya rally against the rope, throwing and throwing. Mayweather grinning as if to say the crowd misinterprets all this, but the fact is he's being swamped by activity in those moments.
He's winning the fight because he's busy, and Floyd cannot hit Oscar. Oscar's defense is pretty good.
Hit him that time. Incidentally, CompuBox somewhat disagrees with us about accuracy, Manny. They had Floyd landing 20 of 35 in the last round. That's high accuracy.
This is a good moment here, and for Mayweather, who senses that there is some urgency now.
He's thrown more in this round. And perhaps this is the beginning of the stretch run. He's been saying all along that De La Hoya would fade toward the end of the fight. We're into round 9. So perhaps Mayweather's mentality is, now's the time when I pick up the pace and separate myself from him, as was the case against Zab Judah.
Step back, clean, fellas. There we go.
But
Watch your
Zab
head.
actually cut off. Oscar's still very aggressive.
I know
Oscar's very aggressive.
I know Oscar De La Hoya, and he ain't no Zab Judah.
Thank you.
Good work. We need a little more hustle. A little more hustle. You whooping him easy, but I'm saying he just coming forward. I'm saying you just whooping his ass. You got add more hands, a little more go. You doing good. Listen, don't go on the ropes. Tie him up in the middle. If we get here, tie him up. Other than that, whoop his ass.
Keep dropping underneath him, shot.
Listen, you gotta keep going.
All right? It's double that jab, Vaseline.
Reset. After reset, don't wait in there. Run too long. Reset. Hands up.
Don't stand in front of him. You got your toes. Move your head a little bit. Another head movement. Nice and loose. Keep popping that jab. He's touching with that jab, okay?
Round 9 was probably one of the more difficult rounds in the fight to score. 3 rounds to go in Las Vegas. Drama building. Harold Letterman, how do you have it to this point?
Look at you, 87-84, 6 rounds to 3, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Jim, in that 9th round, I mean, Oscar De La Hoya throws one big flurry, the crowd goes nuts, and he never throws another flurry the entire round. I don't understand it. He looks at him, he looks at him, he looks at him, and in the meantime, Floyd's popping him with clean, effective, hard punches. 6-3, Mayweather.
I have it 5-4 for Mayweather.
And please note that Harold Letterman gave the 8th round to Mayweather, a round that I personally thought might have gone to De La Hoya. So that's one of the reasons for the 3-point margin on the Letterman card. Once again in the last round, De La Hoya threw 61 punches to 35 for Mayweather. Judges aren't always that great at discerning what lands and what doesn't. They are better at simply counting punches.
Well, and also from different sides of the ring, you may see a slightly different fight.
And you know, we never know what the effect of the crowd may have on these judges here, too. Every time Oscar flurries, the crowd really erupts, whether he lands a clean punch or not. And that happens sometimes. But I give Oscar credit because Floyd has not been able to hit him that easy still. He's coming in, he's picking off Floyd's punches for the most part. Floyd looks flashy, but he's having problems hitting Oscar.
He said he would massacre Oscar. You better hurry up if he's going to massacre him.
Well, I've been certain all along that Floyd Mayweather would win the fight. But I'm pretty amazed at what Oscar De La Hoya has shown at this age and after his long stretch of inactivity. This is a spirited effort.
Very spirited effort, very determined effort, too.
Mayweather once again, more accurate, sharper puncher through this point in the 10th round. Oscar looking for one of those chances to pin him against the ropes and flurry. It has not happened here in the 10th. I think the mistake De La Hoya has made in the last couple of rounds is he put the jab back into the holster. just hasn't thrown it enough. And that, of course, probably has to do with the quick right-hand counters of Floyd Mayweather.
Now he's playing in the Floyd's game, playing man games.
Mayweather more elusive now, making it harder for Oscar to find those opportunities.
Work out, fellas.
Fight beginning to turn in the direction of the favorite. Mayweather dropping his hands as if to say, go ahead and lead, I'll counter you. Frustrating round for De La Hoya. 10 rounds finished, 2 rounds to go.
Okay?
2 good rounds, right? 2 good rounds. Don't get wild. Double up, triple up. That's a good stiff jab. Good head movement. Fight your height. Fight your height. 6 minutes, time. That's how you go.
But he coming forward. So what we gonna do?
Listen,
You beating me, bro. I'm
give
saying.
him credit for coming forward.
He ain't
Stay out the
doing
road.
shit.
He ain't doing shit.
Floyd, we ain't worry about that. The main thing is this, you win. We don't give a fuck about that.
Keep his ass in the center.
Here you see Floyd landing a right hand at the end of the round. It's partly because of Oscar being fatigued right there and getting out of position and not being able to see those crisp punches as good as he did earlier in the fight.
De La Hoya only 7 out of 62 in that round, his lowest number of connected punches since the first round. Mayweather 20 out of 44. That was the most one-sided round in the fight so far. And perhaps a harbinger of what Mayweather's been saying all along, that De La Hoya would fade down the stretch and he would begin to dominate him in the late rounds. This is round 11. The most satisfying knockout victory of Oscar De La Hoya's career took place in the 11th round against Fernando Vargas. But it was Vargas who was tiring that night.
Yeah, and Vargas, but Floyd is a different fighter here.
Big time. Right hand pot shots for Mayweather. De La Hoya not jabbing, leaving himself open for Mayweather's opportunities. De La Hoya must jab and put Mayweather on the defensive. He has not been able to do it the last couple of rounds.
Oscar is getting tired, and not just physically, it seems like mentally he's becoming very drained down.
Now this is becoming like a sparring session for Mayweather, because if De La Hoya doesn't throw, he has no chance. Right hand lead that time by De La Hoya. Mayweather skipping away along the ropes, hammers Oscar with a right hand in the center of the ring. Hits him again. Hand speed difference more and more apparent. Mayweather beginning to operate like a surgeon.
Oscar's totally abandoned his left jab, which is his most effective punch he's had tonight.
Good body shot by De La Hoya.
Lots of punches, but nothing effective.
De La Hoya has been unable to land a big punch, and Mayweather doesn't punch hard enough to make a serious impact on De La Hoya.
Well,
so we have a boxing match which doesn't quite live up to the hope and the hype everyone had.
At the height of his reign as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, it didn't matter who Pernell Whitaker fought. You would pick him to win by unanimous decision. It was the logical choice. At the height of Roy Jones's reign as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, it didn't matter who he fought. You would pick him to win by unanimous decision. It was the logical choice. It didn't matter who Floyd Mayweather was fighting tonight. The logical choice was Mayweather by unanimous decision.
He's fighting a very smart fight now. He threw a looping right hand at Oscar. He threw another looping, then he'll throw the right hand between the gloves. He's keeping Oscar totally confused right now. I guess he's abandoned landing that left hook, which Oscar seems to block every time he throws. So he's now concentrating on hitting Oscar with right hands.
Hard right hand by De La Hoya. His most effective punch in 3 rounds. Crowd tries to root Oscar into position to take advantage, but it was too late.
Be interesting to see how that round was scored.
You wonder how this fight looks
You got to close out like a champ.
from up in the balcony.
This round here, this 12 round. Listen, boxing, shut up, listen. This round.
Catch your breath, huh? Catch your breath. Nice and relax.
Nice relax.
Smart, huh? Smart.
Gloves for final round. Touch gloves when you come out.
Okay, Oscar.
Right? He already.
Final round. Touch gloves when you come out.
He already frustrated. Now go to work on his ass.
Here for you, son. Okay? He's gonna walk right into it. Put the jab hook right hand together for me, okay? All right, let's go to work now.
Good, solid minutes.
Come on. You're not even breathing, Andy.
A CompuBox revelation between rounds as Floyd Mayweather cranked it up in the 11th, throwing many more punches than did Oscar De La Hoya. The pattern throughout the fight had been the opposite. Now De La Hoya knows that he must go for the knockout in the 12th round. He landed a big right hand toward the end of the 11th. It probably wasn't enough to put Mayweather in any jeopardy.
Look out, look out.
A 12th round knockout, if it were to happen, would be the first of De La Hoya's career. Right now, Mayweather is once again who's landing clean punches. And once again, Mayweather throwing more as De La Hoya seems to search for the opportunity for one big punch. The jab was the key, and when Oscar stopped throwing it in around 8, the fight began to tilt in Mayweather's favor.
Yeah, Mayweather has no answer for Oscar's jab.
Step back. Here we go.
Almost impossible to hunt as elusive a fighter as Floyd Mayweather down with one big shot. The only chance for De La Hoya at this point, it would appear, would be to get another one of those big rallies against the ropes and somehow land a left hook. And we mentioned that a great defensive fighter like Mayweather could largely take away the money weapon like the left hook. De La Hoya hasn't landed one of those big, super clean left hooks upstairs all night long.
And neither have Floyd. Both of them best punches are left hooks, believe it or not. But the main thing is Floyd needs to be fresher, thinking, punching crispier, seems to be more in control of his body and everything else. And that may impress the judges.
Just much faster hands. Yes. Much more command in the closing rounds.
But Oscar's fought a very determined fight regardless of what the outcome is.
This is an argument with fists, and the younger man appears to be winning the argument.
De La Hoya visibly determined not to go quietly into that good night. But fighting Floyd Mayweather is a dose of cold reality. This flurry will warm the hearts of De La Hoya's millions of fans. But the judges are watching the accurate clinical retaliation of a truly great fighter at the peak of his skills.
It's very likely that Cinco de Mayo is becoming Mayweather.
Was it one last hurrah for a giant pot of money? Or will De La Hoya make good on his promise to keep on fighting even after this? And where does Mayweather go from this pinnacle after claiming that he's going to retire? They fight to the finish and please the crowd.
A good fight, and by the reaction of the crowd, the dramatics at the end gave them what they came for.
A better fight than a lot of people anticipated, but with the likely outcome seemingly written in stone. And the crowd appreciates both. Oscar De La Hoya unloaded 82 punches in the 12th round, trying to find the one big shot. And incidentally, in the closing seconds, he finally landed that left hook, Manny.
Yeah.
A parting shot, as it were.
It was a good finish.
Mayweather 25 out of 54 in the 12th. His accuracy all night long was a mark of his greater hand speed, his youth, his fire, his ability to be the best fighter in the sport. Let's take a look at the three official judges, carefully chosen. Chuck Jumper, one of the veterans of the trade, 114 title fights. Easy card in Mayweather's win over Valdemir the night that Floyd won all 12 rounds. Sami Kazmarek from New Jersey brought in for this. Had Hasim Rahman even with James Toney in Atlantic City a year and a half ago. And Jerry Roth, who was also a judge on that night back in the late 1990s when Oscar De La Hoya squared off against Felix Trinidad, and who had Mayweather a winner by 4 points in his first fight with Jose Luis Castillo the night that some ringsiders thought that Floyd had actually lost. Millie De La Hoya can be proud of her man. Floyd Mayweather Sr. can be proud of his son and of the fighter he's trained for the last 7 years.
It was a very good fight. I was very impressed with both of the guys. They fought good. They fought to the best of their ability. But I tell you what, I know one thing. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has a lot more respect for Austin after this fight here, because this is the roughest fight he's been in.
Let's go to Michael Buffer for the scores and the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand, we go to the scorecards. Tommy Kazmarek scores the bout 115-113. De La Hoya. Chuck Jampa scores the bout 116-112. Mayweather. Jerry Roth scores the bout 115-113 to the winner by split decision and new WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World, Pretty Boy, Floyd Mayweather.
Many in the crowd unaware apparently that it was De La Hoya's title which was at stake, ready to celebrate when Michael Buffer said new, thinking that that meant their guy had won. But no, it was De La Hoya's title in this Mayweather's first trip to 154 pounds. And how about those scores, Emmanuel?
I think the scores you couldn't argue with. It was a competitive fight.
There was moments in the Mayweather corner, though, after the announcement of Tommy Kazmarek's score in favor of De La Hoya.
All RF mics are clear of the ring. That was bad.
Be nice if you... Celebrations throughout the ring. Mayweather's victory, and let's take a look at final CompuBox numbers. Mayweather landing 85 more and throwing 106 less, doubling De La Hoya's connect percentage. Quicker, more precise, more accurate. Power shots, a textbook display of accuracy from Mayweather. 138 out of 241. You simply cannot do it much better. And this on a night when De La Hoya, some of the time, was defending pretty well, blocking some shots with his gloves, ducking and slipping for a little while. De La Hoya 82 out of 341, throwing 100 more power punches as he searched and searched for the one big shot that might change things around. Larry Merchant stands by in the ring.
Thank you, Jim. Floyd, you seem agitated. What are you agitated about?
I'm not agitated. I'm having fun. You know, I'm happy. It was a hell of a fight. That's what the fans wanted. I told the fans they're going to get a good fight, so we gave them a good fight tonight. But first off, I got to thank God for this victory. And my team Mayweather, Al Haymon, Leonard Ellaby, we got the best team in the world, the best trainer in the world. It's Roger Mayweather, pop. Come on over here, Roger.
Wait, only you were in the ring, though,
This
tonight,
is the best trainer right here.
He whooped his ass, and I said he whooped his ass long time.
Hey, if you look at the punch stats, we got Team Mayweather, and you know who leading the way at Team Mayweather? Roger Mayweather, baby. We did it tonight.
Was he better, more active than you thought he could be at his age?
Well, he threw a lot of punches, but they wasn't landing. He was throwing a lot of punches, they wasn't landing. If you check the punch stats, I outpunched him, I outboxed him. It was easy work, like I told you guys it was gonna be. He was rough, he was tough. He's supposed to fight. You know, 10-time world champion at 6 different weight classes. He proved himself, but he couldn't beat the best, Pretty Boy Floyd tonight.
So why was it a split decision? Do you think it was
Well, you gotta realize it was Golden Boy Promotions. You know how it is when we fighting against Golden Boy Promotions. Anything can happen.
But, you know, only the strong survive, and we did it tonight, man.
What did you do specifically to avoid getting hit
I just
by
took-
his left hook?
Oh, well, I seen the shots coming. You know, he only a punch me lock up to make it look like he was doing something. But like I said, I stayed on the outside all night, boxed and made him miss shots. That's what you call a masterpiece, a boxing. And he's, you know, he one of the best fighters in our era. And I showed you what I could do to one of the best fighters in our era.
You've been saying for months that this was going to be a massacre. Why wasn't it?
I mean, it was a hell of a fight. We gave the fans what they wanted. The world awaited to see the Golden Boy versus the Pretty Boy, and that's what we gave him tonight. I owe thanks to my father. No matter what nobody say, he's a hell of a trainer. He's a great guy. Roger Mayweather, Team Mayweather. We did it tonight, man. It's just blessings from God, and God don't make mistakes.
You've said that you would retire after this fight.
Yeah.
Is that still your position?
Oh, yeah, I'm still retiring after this fight. I proved myself in the sport. 6-time world champion, 5 different weight classes. They said I couldn't do it. I weighed 150 yesterday, came into the fight today weighing 148, but we marked 150. And you seen the welterweight beat the junior middleweight today.
There are so many good potential opponents out there for you in the welterweight division. Cotto, Mosley, Williams, Margarito, and others. Why would you hang them up now when you're in your prime and you've won the biggest fight of your life?
Because I have nothing else to prove. I made a ton of money in this sport. These years are valuable to my children. I'm moving on to bigger and better things. I'm happy no matter what nobody say. God don't make mistakes. That's why I'm 6-time world champion in 5 different weight classes. I'm truly, truly blessed. And I didn't do it all by myself. I know I had a great team. Al Hammond, Leonard Ellaby, my father, Roger.
Right.
I give everybody credit who deserves credit.
None of them landed the punches that you did, though, Floyd. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Jim?
It should be pointed out that you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody here at ringside who believes Floyd Mayweather when he says he's going to retire after this victory. You really believe there's any chance he's walking away at the pinnacle of the sport after a victory like this?
You know, I told him that at the fighters meeting yesterday. No. I mean, he loves this limelight. He was born to be a fighter. He's just beginning. Now he's going to get the attention that he craves. I hope he cuts down on some of his cussing because he didn't have to do that. He is a role model, whether he wants to face it or not. And just going to be a good champion. He had a rough fight tonight. I was impressed the way he held up.
All right, guys like Cotto and Williams are unbeaten. Everybody's going to want to see those fights. And maybe people are going to want to see Oscar De La Hoya again after tonight's battle. Let's take a look at what his plans might be as we go back to the ring and Larry Merchant.
Thanks again, Jim. Oscar, you made a terrific fight. Did you think you won it?
I felt I won. I felt I landed the hard punches, the crisper punches. Every time I would hit him, it would hurt him. And I was pressing the fight. So, I mean, you got to beat the champion decisively. And I was just pressed. If I didn't press a fight, there would be no fight.
So you thought that it was style as well as substance that should have given you the fight. But going into the late rounds, did you think you had to stop him?
No, as a champion, I wanted to stop him. And, you know, you owe it to the fans, you owe it to the crowd, you owe it to yourself to just push yourself more. So that's why I just try to close the show, you know, to give everybody the money's worth.
Emmanuel Stewart and others were wondering why you abandoned your jab at times, which, when you throw it well, was your most effective punch.
Right. I for some reason it wasn't the night of the jab. For some reason, I don't know. And every time I would throw it, it would snap his head back and I would hurt him. I could see his nose bleeding just with the jab alone. But for some reason, it's just one of those nights.
Do you feel, even though you're disappointed that you didn't get the decision, that you gave a very good account of yourself, better than a lot of people might have thought?
Right, exactly. I mean, obviously everybody counted me out against, I mean, hey, the pound-for-pound champion of the world. I'm 34. He's younger than me. He's fast. You know, I told everybody, don't be surprised if my speed is a little, you know, it's going to offset him too, and it did. I mean, I hurt him with a few punches that I know he felt.
Then look into the future for us. Do you feel you performed well enough that there really is no reason you should retire from the point of view of your ability to fight, whatever the other factors are in your decision?
Well, yes, I gotta go back to the drawing board, watch the fight, and see how my movements were, see how my timing was, just see how my body feels, just analyze the whole situation, and then I'll decide. But I mean, obviously, this is the game I love. This is the fight game that brought me here.
So the two things you said here about how much you love boxing, and you're going to go look at the tape, even though you know in your heart you fought a good fight, suggests that it ain't over yet.
Well, I mean, my suggestion is that we'll have to wait and see. I said that before the fight, win or lose, I have to analyze the whole situation. Then I'll decide. I'm going to be very smart about this.
Thanks for a terrific fight,
I
Oscar.
love boxing.
Thank you. And now to Floyd Jr. Sr., who was in the middle of all of this with his heart and with his head. How did you see the fight, Floyd?
Well, I'm just going to be honest with you, man. If you want to call fight by scoring, point system, I mean, by who throwing the more punches, you would have to give it to Oscar. But if you just going on a guy hitting a guy with single shots, then you have to give it to my son. I mean, my son he had good defense. I'm not saying a lot. He caught a lot of punches with his shoulder and his arm, but
so
it's still about punches. It's about people, a guy throwing punches.
So what you're saying?
Score.
So what you're saying here is that you felt that because Oscar was pressing the fight and throwing a lot of punches, and that Floyd Jr. was throwing single shots and just blocking punches, you could have seen Oscar getting the decision. Is that what you're saying?
I thought the fight was a close fight, but hey man, it's just where the point system go, man. If you look at the point system, man, who touching who the most?
Oscar or Floyd? Who won?
Hey man, if you go by point system, you're gonna have to give it to Oscar. If you go by point system.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, thank you very much. Floyd Mayweather still seems dramatically conflicted over everything that's going on here. But let me ask you, Manuel, you've trained fighters. There was a very critical non-answer there when Larry Merchant asked Oscar De La Hoya why he quit throwing his jab, and I think that's the single biggest turning point in the fight. From about the 8th round on, the jab disappeared, and with it, De La Hoya's chances of winning. Why did he stop throwing his jab?
Well, the answer that he gave, he didn't know why. That's the wrong answer, especially when you're a veteran fighter like that. Once you find any little niche that's working for you, you're supposed to just work that to death. I think he just lost his focus on it. But he should have used the jab, but that's the hindsight. But he still fought a very good fight. Floyd Mayweather's a very elusive, difficult fighter to fight for anyone. And I saw Oscar hit him and get to him better than anyone. Until age slows him down, as Larry said, it's going to be hard for anybody to beat him.
Did he stop throwing his jab because of the speed of Floyd Mayweather's counter right hands?
No, Floyd never counted him over the jab. When Floyd threw the right hand, he would already Oscar would have his head up there. But the jab was working effectively. It moved Floyd out of position, which made it vulnerable. Made him, Oscar, to land the left hook. So I don't think there's no logic and no reason that he could come up for why he didn't throw the left jab more, except he just mentally got frustrated and didn't do it.
There are quite a number of fights in De La Hoya's career which leave lingering questions. That's the question which I think will linger in the wake of this one. Larry?
Well, first let me ask you guys, do you think this was a good enough fight and a close enough fight for there to be a rematch?
I agree. I think there could conceivably be a rematch, and the public would want to see it just because it's Oscar De La Hoya. Manny, what do you think?
And also, it was two different systems. The one thing that Floyd Sr. did say, there's one system of just aggressiveness and throwing punches and effort that would have gave Oscar the fight. And then there's another system where judges look for just effective, clean, accurate punches. So it was really, you could have had two winners either way tonight, depending on who that other third judge was. So it definitely was a rematch. I would love to see it.
I don't see a ton of doubt over who won the fight, but I do think an argument can be made for a rematch.
Well, I think it was a very good fight, but not the kind of drama that could duplicate this event. And so I question whether it happens. I do think both fighters will continue to fight. Just one word about some of the build-up to the fight, in which a lot of people seemed discomfited that they were suddenly attracted to a big fight. And so the storyline they invented was, is this the last big fight in boxing? Is this the end in boxing? Can this revive boxing? None of which means anything. Boxing is what it is. This was a very good fight. We'll see a lot more. Whether we have this kind of crowd and the folks out there in those numbers, that is another story. But this was good boxing, good prize fighting.
and a hell of a show.
Indeed. You know, one of the specificities in that question is, will boxing have to cede its place on the stage to other fighting forms like mixed martial arts? Mixed martial arts is entertaining. The kind of skill level you saw in the ring tonight, there's nothing in mixed martial arts which is within light years of what Mayweather and De La Hoya are able to do with their hands. James Brown?
All right, Jim, and let me coattail on that point as well, too. Again, from a boxing purist standpoint, I think it was a fighter's fight. You got what you were looking for in terms of boxing esoterics. But to the bigger question, there was a lot of pomp, a lot of hype about this. You brought a number of casual fans to the set who were tuned in. The question is, those casual fans, did they see enough drama tonight, enough excitement to stick with boxing, to come to boxing? Lennox Lewis first.
I believe so. You know, when you look at a fight and look at the strategy of each boxer, you know, Oscar had a strategy to go in there and apply the pressure and try and get Floyd out of his game. But, you know, he wasn't successful in that. I thought it was going to break down to stamina with Oscar. Oscar's stamina was great. I felt that Floyd was more accurate puncher. He threw some great punches. And he was very poised in there, very relaxed, and showed that he was very comfortable in there. But like I said, it was going to break down to the judging. That's why it was very important that Oscar got those early rounds in the bag, because it's going to affect the judging later on, and it did.
You underscored that as well. Max, I turn to you again. That sizable young demographic that came and tuned in tonight, those who were casual fans, was enough delivered tonight for them to stick?
I don't know. I hope so. I would liken this fight to a political candidate shoring up their base. Boxing fans will be happy with this fight. But a couple of points. First of all, I disagree with Jim. I think there are mixed martial artists who are operating on a very similar skill level in what they do to these fighters, and that's one of the reasons that sport's becoming very popular. Tommy Kazmarek, who scored the fight 115-113 for Oscar De La Hoya, I saw this as a dominant performance for Floyd Mayweather. The only consistent punch that Oscar De La Hoya landed in this fight was the jab when he used it. Oscar rarely landed body punches. Almost all of them were blocked. Almost every effective punch in the fight that was not a left jab was landed by Floyd. I think it was a virtuoso performance by Floyd Mayweather against a legitimately great fighter who still has a lot left in Oscar De La Hoya. I was very impressed. And in terms of Kazmarek's score, you know, it's okay for casual fans sitting way up here, hard to tell what's going on, to be impressed with De La Hoya throwing punches in bunches. It's not okay for a professional judge, and I don't care what side of the ring he's on, to score that fight for Oscar De La Hoya. 9 rounds to 3 Floyd. You can say 8-4, even 7-5 Floyd. You start to have a problem with me.
A politician shoring up his base. Let me tell you something. You two would do well on the same ticket, no question about it.
Long as we're not in the same ring, JB.
A pleasure working with both of you tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. All right, folks, De La Hoya versus Mayweather has been brought to you by MGM Grand, the city of entertainment in Las Vegas. Casadora is the one with the deer on it. Tecate Beer, Cerveza with an attitude. By Rockstar Energy Drink, party like a rock star. Southwest Airlines with more nonstop flights to more places than ever before. By Boxeo, the official phone card of De La Hoya Mayweather. And by HBO Pay-Per-View, the best in pay-per-view entertainment, brought to you by HBO. We'd like to thank the following internet partners. And so for our entire extremely hardworking crew, I'm James Brown saying so long from Las Vegas, Nevada.